Imagine we're sitting in a classroom and this is your last lecture before graduation. After today, everyone goes in a different direction. Some of you will get jobs, others will continue studying. Some of you will still be wondering what to do next. And the reason I'm saying all this is because I've seen the same mistake repeated year after year. I've seen talented students doubt themselves simply because they weren't making the progress they expected. Not because they were less intelligent, but because they spent most of their time preparing to build instead of actually building. They spend hours learning, but very little time creating. By the end of the week, they know a lot more than they did before, yet they still can't build anything without following instructions. That's a frustrating place to be, and it's more common than you think. Knowledge feels rewarding because you're constantly consuming something new, but programming has never rewarded consumption. It rewards creation. The sooner you realize that, the faster you'll grow. The biggest turning point comes when you stop asking, "What should I learn next?" and start asking, "What can I build with what I already know?" That single question changes everything. Programming has never been about collecting knowledge. It's about turning knowledge into something that works. Even if that something is tiny, it teaches you more than another evening spent preparing to learn. Don't wait until you know everything. You never will. Every developer builds things before they feel completely ready, and that's exactly why they improve. You'll also have days when nothing works. Your code throws errors you don't understand. And after staring at the screen for an hour, you'll start wondering if you're even good enough for this field. Every programmer has been there. The important part isn't avoiding those moments. It's staying with the problem long enough to understand it. The lesson you struggle for is almost always the lesson you remember. If every project feels easy, you're probably building the same thing over and over. Growth usually feels uncomfortable before it feels rewarding. I see another mistake every year. Students spend so much time looking for the perfect roadmap that they never actually begin. They worry about choosing the wrong language or the wrong specialization, as if one decision will define the rest of their career. It won't. Most careers are shaped by consistent effort, not perfect decisions. You can change direction later. It's much harder to build momentum if you never start moving. Remember, your first decision only has to be good enough to get you started. It doesn't have to be the decision you stick with forever. One thing college doesn't always teach is the difference between remembering and understanding. You can memorize enough to pass an exam and forget it a week later. Understanding works differently. When you understand an idea, you can rebuild it even if you've forgotten the details. That's why I always encourage students to ask why something exists instead of only learning how it works. Curiosity lasts much longer than memory. The students who keep asking questions usually become the developers who keep growing, even years after graduation. The internet has also made it incredibly easy to feel like you're behind. Every day there's another success story, another impressive project, or another person who seems to have everything figured out. It's easy to believe you're the only one who's struggling. You're not. Most people simply don't share the months where nothing exciting happened. Progress isn't measured by how someone else is doing. It's measured by whether you're better than you were a few months ago. That's the comparison that's actually worth making, because it's the only one you can control. Something else I'd tell every student is to stop waiting until they feel ready. Readiness is a moving target. There will always be another course you could take or another concept you could study first. If you keep waiting, you'll graduate with a head full of information and very little experience. Start building now. Your first project isn't supposed to be impressive. Its only job is to teach you enough to build the next one. Every project leaves you with one lesson you didn't have before, and those lessons add up much faster than you realize. People ask me about AI all the time. Personally, I don't think the biggest question is whether AI can write code. The bigger question is whether you can recognize when that code is wrong. That ability comes from understanding, not prompting. AI is an incredible tool, but it should make you a better thinker, not replace your thinking. Use it to learn faster, not to avoid learning altogether. The developers who stand out won't be the ones who ask the best prompts. They'll be the ones who understand the answers. Before we finish, I want you to remember one thing. Years from now, nobody's going to care how many tutorials you watched or how many certificates you collected. They'll care about what you built and the problems you learned to solve. Those are the things that stay with you long after college ends. Your degree might open the first door, but your ability will decide how many more doors open after that. So when this video is over, don't look for another video. Open your editor instead. Build something. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to impress anyone. It just has to exist.